This is a template created to carry out regression analysis. Regression analysis is to test if there is a linear relationship between variables, different variables, if the output of a variable is dependent upon one or several variables. Excel has a tool that you can use to carry out regression. You will just go to Data tab, go to Data Analysis, and here it is, Regression. You click on this and it will do everything for you. But this template is developed to show you everything, all the calculations in the background, and one of its special feature is to interpret the results for you. Makes it simple and it reduces the turnaround time for the results. So if you click on this one, all the calculations are in the background. It's just hidden. Minimize the grouping. So how do you use this template? Well, you have to define your variables, the dependent variable, the independent variable, and your hypothesis testing. So the null hypothesis is there is no correlation between the two variables. And obviously the alternative hypothesis will be there is a correlation. Now you can test this hypothesis at a different set of confidence interval. For this case is 95%. So once you made those changes or decisions, you copy or you enter your values, the variables, in these two cells. Now these ones are Excel tables, so once you enter them, all the calculations will run automatically in the background. Everything will be done as per the setup, and it will give you a result. Now all these results, so the output is just the same as the data analysis add-in that you can use to run the regression here. But once in this model you run the regression, it sort of analyzes and report on the results for you. So for this case, as an example, the null hypothesis is failed to reject. Now it's saying that there is a correlation. That is why it is failing to reject the null hypothesis. Essentially, the probability p-value is much lower than the alpha value here. That is why it's saying the null hypothesis has been failed to reject, or the test itself fails to reject the null hypothesis. Now we are reporting this result at a 95% confidence level. Now, when you look at the correlation interpretation, from this analysis, the strength of the correlation is strong positive. That means there is a direct relationship between the variables, and it's positive, meaning as one variable increases, the other also increases. Now, the influence of X on Y. This is essentially the coefficient of the regression equation. It tells you how much of an impact X variable has on Y, a unit impact. And the confidence interval of this influence is here. That is the plus or minus the intervals of the influence that X or the independent variable has on the dependent variable. Now we look at the regression on the other side, the intercept. Intercept, basically the y-intercept value is there. That tells you how much y changes when the y or the dependent variable changes when the independent variable is 0. And basically the slope is the same as the influence that the independent variable has on the dependent variable. Now the model validation value is the adjusted R-square values, basically telling you that this model or this equation here, this linear equation, can explain around 78% of the change in the dependent variable. So it is saying that around 78% of the change in the dependent variable is or can be explained or caused by the independent variable. So that's the interpretation here. Now, if I were to use the same data to run regression here, now since I've done selection already, I'll just this is the input range of y, this is this one. This is the input range of x. I'll probably select the labels as well, so yes. And then yes, confidence level is 95. Range output here, I want the result to be displayed here. Just don't show the graphs, just don't show. And if I click on OK, basically all these results here is just the same as the one calculated here. Nothing is different, it's just the same. However, this Excel add-in does not show you the calculations, it just gives you the results. But in this model, all the calculations are done here manually. So you get to appreciate the work that is going on in the background. So yeah, this is what a linear regression is. It tests if there is a linear relationship between a variable or between different variables. If you want to know more about this, you can always look it up on YouTube, and even go down the path of doing literature reviews. Thank you for watching.